Hey, it's Jenny, and I am back today with my big teacher planner, and you can see that we are ready to go. I am going to remove the pages as it's just easier to work that way, and we did a very quick flip through of the pages that we have done so far in this planner. I did use a big Erin Condren, like an 8x10 softbound planner last year in the same way, and that's what gave me the idea for using this happy planner in this way because I absolutely love it. It is so functional. It is so wonderful. I just simply trim a 2-inch sheet off of a piece of sticker paper, and then I use that to cover the dates on the left-hand side. I don't want them on the left-hand side. I want them across the top. And because there are 5 rows and there are 7 columns. And so 7 columns for the days of the week, and then the rows for different categories. I am going to use this super cute Cocoa Daisy stamp set and then also the Halloween sticker kit. The stamp set is from the Halloween kit. I will link it up for you below. And I'm going to use the spider web that's included and this gravel ink pad, which is a really light gray from the stamp market. I'm going to use those at the top and the bottom rows and just to decorate the headers for the columns, or the rows, I'm sorry. So I am using these stamps from the Ton, which I really love the size, the font. I was trying to think of the word for that, the font, and they just work really well here. So I am putting remember, today, and to do, and then I will also put work and dinner. But I'm going to use these Everyday Explorers work stamps for the to do section and for the work section. These are currently sold out on their site. However, you should absolutely check back every month because for the release, sometimes she brings back old stamp sets or a limited number of them. And so this is such a good stamp set that I would keep my eyes peeled for in the future if it were me. All right, so then we've got dinner down at the bottom in that spider web. Hopefully you can see that. It's super cute. Now those are my 5 different categories for the week, and those will be the rows across for each day. Now I'm going to clean these stamps off real quick because I am going to stamp the days of the week and the dates as well. So I need all of my itty bitty stamp blocks for that purpose. I simply use a microfiber cloth from my kitchen. I keep it in here until it is too dirty, and then I wash it with the rest of my towels. And then this is a Ranger stamp cleaning spray. I just do that to get all the excess ink off. You don't have to do this. You can stamp your excess ink onto scratch paper, or you can use non-baby wipes with no alcohol. You can give your stamps a little bath in room temperature water with a drop of dish soap. Lots of different options. This one just works for me, and it's very, very easy to keep handy where I do all of my work. I am stamping across the bottom in the dinner section this plate just because I think it looks really cute there, and then I write what we had for dinner on top of it. I like to do this because I find, I don't know if this is true for you, but I find that I forget about dinners that we used to eat or recipes I used to make or things like that. And so when you flip back through your planner and you look 5 months ago, oh yeah, I forgot, I haven't made that in a long time, let's make that. So I just think it's nice to keep track of what we ate for dinner or what I made for dinner, and yeah, check it out. All right, so this is a stamp set from Cocoa Daisy. I really like the size, the font, the whole thing, and I'm using it to add the days of the week across the top, and then I will use a Cocoa Daisy number stamp set to add the numbers at the top. The numbers are bigger than I would normally want to use. However, I like them because I wanted to color them in with some different designs, like hand draw polka dots or hand draw stars, or not stars, stripes. And so this allows me to do that. Now again, I have to clean off all my itty bitty stamp pads so that I can do those days of the week because, you know, I don't want to have to clean them while I'm stamping them because I would lose momentum, and yeah, I want to keep going when I'm going, right? So We'll get all these days of the week cleaned off. I am using VersaFine Claire ink pads for the day of the week, and then also for the place setting stamp, and then I'm using my black VersaFine for the numbers, and then also for the categories of the rows. So pretty VersaFine heavy so far this week, but they're just such an easy stamp set to use. They work so well, and the colors are very vibrant. Okay, so now you can see how that is so far, and then I'm going to use these stamps to add the dates to that. So do you see what I mean about how they're a little bit bigger than maybe I would normally use? I usually prefer something a little daintier, but like I said, these work well for coloring in, and especially for if I want to add polka dots or stripes or those types of things. Just a reminder, if you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you are not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Alright, so this is the Cocoa Daisy Halloween sticker kit, and I'm going to use it to add the bulk of the decoration initially. So I will start with a visual triangle, as I always do, and then I'll fill in all of the things, and then fill in the white spaces with decoration, just because I like a nice full planner at the end of the week. I really, really appreciate the creativity, and it helps motivate me to refer back to my planner, and referring back to my planner is good for me getting things done. So, all right, so you can see the 3 different clusters, and you could draw a triangle in between the 3 of those if you chose to. Most of us probably are not going to do that. However, I have been known to do that during a class or something like that. All right, so now I'm pulling out clean color dot markers and mild liners to use for this particular week. So purple, green, and orange to go with this color palette, the nice traditional spooky colors. I like to alternate. 3 is really a solid number. I can alternate that way, like between the dots and the mild liners, and have a wide variety, like not a wide variety, but like they can vary and they can be staggered, and that always just works really well without feeling too chaotic. I could also probably just use 2, but you know, every once in a while I just want to change it up. So that's where I usually get 3 different colors from. Now, each day through the Today section, I write down my activities, I write down my plans, appointments, things like that. I write down the information that I need to make sure that I get to these places. So, for example, I don't always write the place down of something if it's an obvious, for example, like at my son's high school. Okay, he's having practice. I know they always have practice at the school, so I know where that's at, so I don't need to write that down. Sometimes my son's travel baseball team practices in different spots, so I will write the location of that down just to keep my memory jogged as to where that is, because it does change sometimes. I started using the mild liners to differentiate between the things that I needed to do and the things that my middle son was doing. However, my middle son is now off at college, and I don't need to keep track of that. And as I have said many times in the past, I didn't actually need to even keep track of his things. I just did it for meal planning purposes and just to have a general idea of when he would be in and out during the day. Now I'm so used to using the mild liners, and I like the colors, and I like being able to stagger them and alternate them, that I just keep doing it, even though I really mostly only write things that I'm doing in the Today section. Now I have my book club on Sunday night, and I could absolutely just write that down, but I decided that I wanted to use alphabet stickers for that because it is fun and it is a fun activity. So the stickers match the overall feeling of the activity. And I love that. And I love that it looks playful and it really like sort of is unexpected, and I love the way that that looks. It's just definitely a great way to use alphabet stickers and be functional all at the same time. All right, so now across the top, I like to write things that I need to make sure get remembered. So due dates for things, things that, okay, this stands out, it's different than an ordinary day, those types of things. Then in the third row down, I write my personal to-dos. So grocery shopping, getting cash, mopping the floors, things like that. That is where those things go there. And then the next row down is my work to-dos. So often I will have due dates for certain things for work. However, I like to figure out throughout the week how I'm going to make those happen, as well as the content that I create, like making sure that that gets done and the different steps that that takes. So those are all of the things that go in this row. I also like to keep track of the books I read, the media I watch, so movies, TV, things like that. And so I do that in the blank spaces on these days also. And I find that it all just works really well. I've been trying to remember to use different color pens for this specifically. So when I write the titles of the shows or the books or whatever, it's fun for me to use a different color pen. I'm not really a different color pen kind of planner. I like to just use my black pen, but I find that it's a good time to use it for, a book or, that kind of thing. It makes it stand out too. You can see I also used the Flair pen not only to write the title of the book, but then I also used it to draw those polka dots at the top. As you can see, I like to alternate and I like to change things up. That is being mindful of my white space. And then also, I just like to change it up because then my eye is always looking for what's going on, and that keeps me more engaged and helps me get things done versus being complacent and just sort of skimming over things and maybe missing something. Tuesday looks a little daunting. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I did start a new book, so that's always exciting. I often will alternate the colors that I use, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for, say, my checklists, right? So those little dots for using my clean color dot markers. But this week I decided to stick with the same color repeatedly. So I used the purple for work to-dos and I used the green for personal to-dos. And ordinarily, I try not to do that, like I said, as I am afraid of complacency. However, because I hardly ever do it, then this also created like a what for my brain. So it was just fun to change it up. I'm a big changer upper. So doing things differently than I ordinarily do always makes me, I don't know, just is very exciting to me. I like that a lot. So that's why it was fun for this week to have all of each be the same color across the entire row. Now, as we get into the weekend, I usually have less things going on because I will have, obviously, plans, but I don't typically have to-do lists on Saturday and Sunday, and then often I will have a lot more white space. So that's where a lot of the decorating will come in, is towards the end of the week. Now, some of these pens, the Papermate Flare, some of them are the glitter Papermate Flare. I don't know if you can really see, like this purple one, for example. I don't know if you can really see the distinction or not, but they're very fun and they have a really faint, like light glittery action going on. It's not overwhelming at all. Like, I was a little skeptical when I first saw that they existed, thinking, but really it's actually very, very nice. The tip is a little bit, I'll say, a little bit whiter than normal because they're a little bit more markery than just your average Papermate Flare pen, but they really are very fun to use, and I do try to use them a little bit more creatively than I do just for writing lists or things like that, because like I said, the tip is a little bit wider. All right, so now you see we have quite a bit of blank space, not blank space, and not quite a bit. We have some white space, and so I want to fill that. I'd like to add a little bit of washi. As you can see here, I find that usually like 2 days of washi, like two columns of washi, works really well. You get a good look at it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not too much. You're not like, meh, it's more than I want to use. In bigger spaces, like on Wednesday, for example, I like to put the bigger stickers to fill that space, because then you'll have other smaller areas where you can use like little clusters or set little vignettes of stickers, those types of things. But so I use the bigger ones when I'm able to, by using the bigger elements that I have. But it's just so much fun to put all these things in there, and it's 10 minutes or even that of just getting to be creative and have fun with my supplies. The week is over. It served its purpose. It was very, very functional, and then I look at the whole thing and it just feels really good, and so then I look forward to doing it again the next week. So, and then at the end of the year, to be perfectly honest, then you have a nice planner that's all finished, and it looks great, and it's really honestly some awesome memory keeping, even if you're not a memory keeper. So then I will also use like these little bat stamps, just fill those in, make it look like the bats are flying around the page. It's just fun to add little bits and pieces and little things from my stash to the planner. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe, let me know any positive words of encouragement you have in the comment box below, and I will do my very best to get back to you. Thanks so much, and make it a great day.